Hi all, welcome to, I guess this will be the first episode that I'm trying to do of the wireless national team content and coffee. So I'm having coffee here this morning, just hanging out in windy, somewhat cold Dallas, but trying to just get some information out, especially around the tools we're using and kind of the processes and things like that we're trying to do here at Worldwide, and try to make sure that you guys are getting the info that's necessary to get our jobs done and get it to the level that we all hope for. So what we're going to discuss today is we've been working for a couple of months now on fine-tuning and setting up some report templates to be used in Ekahau to try to help help you in the field get reports done in a much more timely and automated fashion. I've spent days and days doing reports before, as you all have as well, of screen captures and trying to make it look right and customer write-up pieces and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to work on trying to fix that and automate that for you. So what we've done, we've got a series of report templates that have been written for Ekahau that I will post and make sure are on the national team page on Teams, as well as the SharePoint site, and make sure that in the comments of this video that those links are in there as well, so you all can get to them and grab those reports and be ready to go. There will be a little bit of tweaking you may have to do for customers once you run the report, just to really customize it. These are more somewhat canned, but it's the WWT generalized or WWT fashion and templates, so it kind of helps. So we're kind of getting everything, everything looks alike more or less. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and open up a project here, and I've got one that I've been working on with some engineers. So a couple of things here as this is opening. So the first thing we're going to need to do, obviously, is if you've got your AutoCAD, that's amazing. We can import. It'll help us draw our walls and layers. We'll go through another session on actually setting up AutoCAD or importing AutoCAD for Ekahau, and kind of some of the gotchas there. There are definitely some caveats and such. And just discuss kind of how we should be setting up our project. That'll be another video. But like you can see here, this floor and this floor, there's an awful lot of white space. We know that makes visualizations very hard once we get to the reporting side. So we'll go through in the other video how to kind of clean that up and just make it a little easier to digest and clean it up. So, but what we're going to do here, we're focusing on reporting at this point. So what we want to do is I've got my report set up. Everything seems good. So I'll show you the report real quick, and then we'll kind of correlate what's going on. So this is a report for a predictive design. What you can see, we have JSON. So these are written in JSON. So basically we're getting the customer name pre-populated, where they're located, the name of the project. Your date gets pre-populated, so you don't need to worry about that. All the authored by section, so if you've done enough of these, that's our name, our title, contact information, all of that, again, pre-populated. The version control, at least for the first document, the date, the project, the author, and all of that, that'll all be pre-populated for you. And then all of the other tweaks that are going to have to be done, we'll go through after we run this report and show you kind of what we need to do. But that's kind of the basis of it. But why I wanted to show you this page in particular, because it's important and where that information comes from to populate a lot of this info. So being a predictive survey, and this is a multi-floor facility, the first thing we should have done was to build our building and set all of our floors up, get the alignments and all of that. And we'll go through all that in another video as well as part of this series. But we should have had that already done and our building built, and you can see all of that fun stuff. So now where we begin or where we pick up is what we need to do is set up the project. So we obviously need to make sure that our coverage requirements are done. That's pretty important because that's going to get pulled into the project, but it also into the report. But obviously that also is the basis for our project. So to get ready for the actual report, we need to go down here to the project notes. So the project notes are, like I said, these are the very important parts. So if you look back at the report, we can correlate. So project name, right here is project name. So that's going to get populated by this field. So let's just call it let's do a wireless refresh. Customer, so project customer. Okay, that's my customer name. So let's just say Acme Hospital. Oop. Location, so location comes back to this project location. So we can just say, you know, you can actually put in the physical address. So okay. Nope. Responsible person. So responsible person is going to be the project owner. The project owner should be you as the engineer. So the notes section again correlates to project notes. So that's going to be our contact info. So it'll be, you know, title. Oh. Contact info. Okay, so now that's all done. So now all of that info will get populated in this page, and anywhere in our document that project customer, like here, project location, building name, again, we built our building and named it, project location again, project customer. So anywhere where that is in the document will be auto-populated for us, so we don't have to go through and find, you know, an old document or something like that and then do, you know, a find and replace and put in the new customer and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty handy in that regard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and kick off the report, and then we'll I'll pause the video until that's complete, and then we'll come back and kind of go through what the report looks like and some of the things that we can edit along the way and things like that. So to get our report kicked off, we're going to want to go to reporting, template reporting, and we're going to generate a report. So file path. So you want to go find those report templates you pulled down. And you can see we've got them for like a small site predictive, which will give us a little bit more information than what this one's going to give us. If it's a larger site, just use the basic predictive. We've got a passive, we have a large site predictive. So we've got a few different ones. So we're going to use the large site. And what I'll do as part of the comments as well, with those files that we're going to put out there, I will put comments kind of next to them about use cases, what they're used for, and then kind of the differences in them as well to help you figure out what you may need and which one to use. So we're going to use the large site predictive. You know, obviously you figure out where you want to save it to. Then, you know, name it whatever you need to name it to make sense, and then generate report. So now what's going to happen is it's going to go through that report, and it's going to start parsing out those JSON tags and populating that information. So as this is going, at this point I will go ahead and pause the video, and we will come back after this is done, and we will take a look at what our report looks like and what the output is. So I will see you guys in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back. So it's been a few minutes now, maybe 5 or 10. It hasn't been huge, but now we have our report is complete. So now we can see it automatically opens, and we've got all of our info filled out. So again, our customer name, address, what the project is, the date, all of engineer contact information. You can see the author and contributors all getting filled in, all of that stuff. Now what we can actually look at too is as we go down here, here's our customer names getting filled in. to all of these. So some things we need to edit and look at when we're doing this report to finalize it is there's some red stuff here. So like whatever kind of AP you were designing with, go ahead and put that in here. So we can, we'll have to clean some of this up, but you can take out autonomous because we're not doing an AP on a stick. But go ahead and put in those AP types. And then as we go through here again, we're just going to keep looking. This is all pretty well canned stuff. Now what we're going to get to, so now here's our requirements. So the type of requirement we need, and then our requirements that we built from our project here, which is all being pulled from the coverage requirements area. So this is what is populating this table. So no need to take screenshots of it and all that. We have it right here in the document. You can also see coverage requirements. So our building name filled in here. So another important reason to set up a building, even if it's just one floor, just go ahead and name it. And that way that name gets populated for us. Makes it a little easier. Site survey results, the location again. Now the type of building. So again, we talked about those wall types. So here's the building, the basic layout, how many floors, how many APs we're going to have on those floors. And then we've got a basic summary and bill of material. So you can see each floor, how many APs we're going to need on each floor. You can see the wall types for the floor. So you can see like here, these are the type of walls that were drawn, as long with attenuation. So, the other thing we need to look at is, and we'll discuss this in another episode, but custom wall types. So, we obviously go on site, we can grab some attenuation readings and really know what those wall types are and accurately get them. So that's where we would, in the project here is where we would edit those wall types. So, you can do wall, and then I can either adjust what this one is or add my own new wall type and set my attenuation readings, how thick it is, all that kind of stuff. So that's some other stuff we can talk about in some other episodes here. And then what you see is AP details for the floor. So you'll see like AP1, you'll see what power levels they were set at. We're doing milliwatts instead of dB. Either way, we can set dBs if we need to, but here are the power levels, the channels. Obviously I didn't really do a channel map on this. I wasn't massively concerned about that just because we're doing a predictive and we can get RRM, but it's at least a starting point. AP locations. So like I said, remember all of that white space that we had, now look at our drawing. So now it's really hard to see it, and I have all of this extra white space. So we'll talk about how we can clean that up later. Coverage areas. Coverage area is important. We highlighted our coverage area, and it tells you what the total square footage of that floor is, so you don't need to put that in anywhere. And then our RSSI settings. So we have our primary coverage, our secondary, and then tertiary if needed. So we can pull all that. Tertiary that'll be typically that's going to have to be a little hard coded. And if you need, reach out to me and I can help you set that up for your projects if tertiary is required in the report. So we're going to see coverage overlap, our S&R values, the important stuff that we need. Capacity, so we were just playing around with what do we need, how many devices and what type of device. And then any survey notes that happen. So, in your surveys, you can always take notes, right? So let me kill this wall. I don't want to draw a wall. So we can always create notes. So there's a couple of different ways to create notes. We've got our AP notes right here. I can type in, I can take a picture of that AP if there's something, if you get there and you see something weird about it, you can take a picture of it. And I can always add text notes and picture notes. So text note, I can obviously hit text note and go in here and type in a note, and then I get that nice little pin and that note. Same thing with picture notes. So that's what shows up here. So if there's important parts that you have on your survey that you need to call out, that's where this would come in at. And then we're going to see the same thing for the third floor, fourth floor, and fifth floor. So that's our basic, that's our basic predictive. If there's things that we need, again, you can reach out and let me know. I can help you to customize it. Obviously it's going to be customized a bit for, each customer or whatever. One thing we do need to do, as any time that we do these, we need to update the table of contents, update the entire table, and then you'll see it clean itself up. So now you'll actually see like the building name, the location name, all of that kind of stuff. So that's basically what I had for the report templates and kind of what we're doing around those. And hopefully it'll make it easier for you guys. It makes it a little bit quicker, easier to use, and just, again, instead of days of trying to cut and paste all this stuff and type it, we've cut it down to, roughly 10 minutes, and I have this report that I can send to the customer. So hopefully it was helpful. Any feedback you have, let me know. Any questions you have on it, any help you need on the reports or any of that, please let me know, and we will get you what you need.